What's up, everyone? It's Doug the Dog Guy, and I'm here with my friend Lisa Benefiel. She owns Red Dog Pet Services in Aiken, South Carolina. This is going to be our third pet sitter story time. I'm so excited to hear the story that Lisa has for us. Lisa, thank you so much for coming on and being willing to share your pet sitting stories with us.
Great. Very happy to be here. As you know, I've been following you since the beginning, and I just love this series that you're doing now.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Tell us a little bit about who you are and your business and what you do.
Sure. I'm Lisa Benefiel. Like I said, I opened Red Dog Pet Services in Aiken, South Carolina, in February of 2022 after leaving the federal government. I spent 25 years with the National Security Agency. Basically had enough, and I have been wanting to do this for quite some time. That's why I started following you, Doug, years before I even opened the business. So you really kind of kicked it off for me. But yeah, we do dog walking, pet sitting, overnights, 24/7 vacation camp. We do some extra stuff like 2 hour enrichment field trips, 1 hour playtime, or sometimes we're working with dogs to get them ready to take the therapy dog test because I have one of my Vishlas is a therapy dog. And then we do taxi service because we have a lot of elderly clients. So we'll help take their pets to the vet or daycare or anything like that.
That's awesome. It sounds like you do a little bit of everything.
We do. We've kind of refined it over this time, and it sounds like we do a lot, but those were the most requested, I guess, services. Even though, through the years, when I started out as a solo sitter after year one, I was ready to get rid of the overnights and 24/7. But they're actually a big draw for us. So, and then now that I have employees, they don't want me to give those up because they love them.
I have the same scenario with my team where like I would love to get rid of the overnight service, but my team loves doing them and they're a good draw for new clients, so we're keeping
Right,
them.
right.
How big is your team now?
So this we're down to three right now. We're actually hiring. I'm getting ready to send out some stuff. We were up to six. Actually, we're down to four. We were up to six. I actually have five right now, but one is leaving in April. She's moving up north. And she's my full time person that we're really going to miss her.
Oh
And then
wow.
another one he ended up leaving Red Dog just to kind of get some more work, more family balance and stuff that she was doing. So even though she was with us almost 2 years, she ended up just stepping away to take care of some other stuff. So we're getting ready to start hiring again here, which, as you know, sometimes that's daunting task, but it's got to be done, and it's really worth it once you do. I want to be ready for the summer months.
Yeah, yeah. Right now is a great time to be hiring. I'm hiring right now for my team too. As February is always kind of slower for us, so it's a good time to have extra admin hours to put towards hiring and get them trained up and ready for the summer. So you're not alone on the
Right.
hiring journey. So tell me, I know you've got a good story for us. Before we get into your story, I will quickly say that if you have a story, if you're watching at home and you have a story that you would like to share here on my YouTube channel, you can shoot me an email at doug@badtothebonepetcare.com. Send me a couple of bullet points about what you would like to share and the lesson that we will all be able to take from your story. And if I like it, I'll send you a scheduling link. We'll get on a Zoom call and then we'll share it here to my audience. My real goal with this Pet Sitter Stories series is to show everyone that you are not alone. You know, there are a lot of other pet sitters out here who are really dealing with a lot of the same things that you are dealing with. And we can really all come together to support each other and lift each other up. So that is my goal with this series. And with that, I would love for everybody to hit the subscribe button real quick. And Lisa, you take it from here. Tell us your story.
So yeah, 2025, one of my goals is to transition over for our regular clients, I want to transition to lock boxes. We've used them sporadically. over the last 3 years, but I'm just so over dealing with the key situation. And it really has developed out of, the growing clientele, as well as, now having more staff members and the whole frustration of who needs a key, switching keys, who's got the key, that kind of thing. And we've had a lot of mishaps. Me personally are the ones that I'm going to share, the ones that happened to me. The most recent being we have a long term client, and her and her fiance were getting married. And it just so turned out that she moved into a new house. They were in an apartment for years. They finally bought their first house. They're moving into the house. They're getting all ready for their wedding and everything. And I had to go over before her scheduled visit started to pick up a new key. And of course, they wanted to show me the house and see the cat and everything else. So I did all that, and I'm holding the key the whole time. And then when I say my goodbyes and everything, I literally walked not 50 feet, still holding the key, got into my Jeep. I know I set it down next to me. I have a Jeep, so there's like a emergency brake and a bunch. I put a bunch of towels there for whatever I need it for, because we're dog pet sitters and dog walkers. And I literally drove maybe 3 miles from her house to my house, got out, and the key was literally nowhere in sight. I spent the next 2 hours ripping the Jeep apart, looking all over the ground. I went back to her house, looked all over the ground there. I finally did notify her. She sent her fiance out. He looked around. Finally, I just gave up. I could not imagine where this thing disappeared to. So my guess is it fell between those little brushes in the emergency brake.
Yeah.
That's all I can figure. And who knows where it went from there. But I was mortified. Brand new house. They just got the keys. So of course I offered, oh, I'll get your house rekeyed, but can we just get a key for now? All of that stuff. They were super sweet. They were like, no, stuff happens. You're fine. Just come get another key, which we did. But I still just felt mortified. And it was not 3 weeks later that one of my sitters, the same thing happened to her, and she just melted down because she could not find this key anywhere. So
Oh, wow.
it just is something that happens. And it's funny because I've tried a lot of different techniques so that people don't lose keys, but somehow, especially when you first get a key and they just hand you their key. I guess I should start I usually put mine on a carabiner so our girls can either hook it to their key ring, or they can hook it to a lanyard, something so that it's not lost. Sometimes I've given them one of those bungee bracelets to hook it to so
Oh,
that
yeah.
they always have it and they're not locking themselves out, which I've done. But I've had to crawl through dog doors before. We have had one client that she doesn't, for some reason or another, she doesn't necessarily give us a key, but she has this cool little hiding place in the side of a shed with a little cutout door. But the key hangs on a hook, but when you reach in there, giant beehive.
Oh,
It's like,
no.
there's no way
No.
you can get the key out without having to go by this beehive. And I'm like, nope, not doing it. And I'm not going to have my ladies do that as well. So a lot of that has generated, okay, the various strategies for helping us as sitters to not lose the keys. I actually just did a brief video for my sitters on when you come back after your last job, there should be a place, whether it's a hook, it's a basket, it's something where all of your client keys go, because invariably somebody shows up for a visit the next morning, they don't have the key, and everybody else is scrambling as to who has it. So it's just something that I want to get rid of keys. I'll never get rid of them. We have a lot of elderly clients,
Yeah.
and we have people that, you just can't 100% put lock boxes.
Yep.
So I wish I could, just because it's easier.
Oh, man. Keys can be the bane of our existence sometimes.
Yes, and just the amount of them that you get, and then you have to go and manually, even though in Time to Pet, which I love, we can say where it is, but in the office, you've got to go, and it's always the last key that you're looking for.
Always. Oh man. Before we switched to lock boxes a couple of years ago, I had this like toiletry bag that I would carry around everywhere with me, and it was full. It must have had 200 keys, all tagged, and anytime I would get to a house that I hadn't been to in a couple of months, I'd have to dump out the whole bag and search through for the right key. And
Right,
I'm so glad I don't have to do that anymore.
right, right. So now my biggest thing is I'm researching lock boxes because I've actually had a couple lock boxes that have jammed. So I'm very paranoid about them jamming. And then I'm also I think just because I come from the field that I came from before pet sitting is I I don't necessarily like putting the lock boxes on the front door. I
Yeah.
feel like it's this big flag. And then some people, would always be on there because we're going daily. And I know that's got to be a pain. So sometimes it's a real challenge to find somewhere to put that lockbox. Yesterday, I had to fill in for one of my girls that was out of town. And I guess whoever put the lockbox on couldn't find a good place. And she put it on the leg of a metal picnic table all the way at the bottom and upside down, so you couldn't see the combination. And here, me just having hip replacement, I'm like,
Oh
"Whoa, how
no.
am I going to get this?" So I
Oh
had to
no.
get down on the ground, flip the thing over, and there was a contractor working in the yard that I know he just probably laughed, had a good laugh, trying to see me get back up after getting this key out of the box.
Oh man. I have a client actually that they have their lockbox on the metal leg of their picnic table in their backyard. I'm like thinking of that right now. It always makes me laugh to see how creative people can get to where they put their lock boxes. And I agree with you. I don't always like them on the front door, and I often recommend clients put them like on their hose spigot on the side of the house. Um,
Yes.
that's a pretty common place for our clients to put them, but we've had clients hang them like on their mailbox, on their light by their garage door. I've had a client hook it like to the wheel well of their car, all kinds of
Oh,
crazy
crap.
things that like thankfully, like you said, we have Time to Pet so that they can always put exactly where the key and where the lockbox is
Right,
hidden. That way we have the instructions, but
right.
yeah. I um I just transitioned to lockboxes maybe 2 years ago, and it was something that I put off for a long time. Is I was We have a lot of elderly clients being based in Florida, and I was really worried that a lot of our clients wouldn't want to use lockboxes. So I really held off on making that transition for way too long. And I wish I would have made that transition sooner now. And the way that we rolled it out is I said I ordered a bunch of lock boxes in bulk. I ordered lion locks. You can order like 20 at a time on Amazon. And I said, you can either buy them from us at cost or you can provide your own. If you buy it from us, it's yours to keep. You can do whatever you want with it. And if your neighborhood won't allow a lockbox, like you're in an HOA or an apartment complex, something like that, we just request two key copies, one to keep in our office, as a backup at all time, and then one that the team has. But it does make it difficult if we're sending multiple team members to the house, because then often what we have to do is ask the client to let us make a third copy of the key. That way we don't
Right.
have to worry about meeting up and everything. But there's so many layers and intricacies just to home keys that I think a lot of like newer pet sitters and dog walkers probably haven't thought of yet.
Yes, and I also have realized that I think a lot of times clients aren't really thinking about the sitter having multiple clients. they're just thinking, oh, you're my pet sitter. What's the big deal? Here's your one key. But it's they don't realize like it's the same way like when they give instructions. I was like, I'm meeting you. We go through all this in the meet and greet. You'll meet your sitter, that kind of thing. But I still want you to fill out any kind of critical information because we're going from job to job to job and you just are like, okay, where am I going now? What was this dog's feeding routine? So I think they just, it's just they don't think like, oh, they're doing multiple people all day long every day.
Right, right. Oh man, well, thank you so much for sharing your story. Hopefully, no more beehives in your future. uh, Tell everybody where they can see more about you and learn more about Red Dog.
Sure. We have a website, Red Dog Pet Services, and then we are on Facebook, same thing, Red Dog Pet Services, Instagram, Nextdoor, which I don't do a lot on, and then we do have a TikTok. We have not posted on it in a long time. The whole TikTok
Oh
debacle.
yeah.
But those are our primary areas that we do is Facebook, Instagram, and Google, of course. But yeah, everything's under Red Dog Pet Services, and come check us out. We always welcome other pet sitters or interested pet sitters. That if you want to ask any questions, I'm here for that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'll put all of your links down in the description below. And if you are a pet sitter or dog walker in the Aiken, South Carolina area, reach out to Lisa. She's a great person to know. So with that, be sure to submit your story at doug@badtothebonepetcare.com. And like I said, I will shoot you a scheduling link so we can get on a Zoom call. And I am Doug the Dog Guy. That's Lisa. And we are reminding you to stay positive.